Welcome to the City of Heroes podcast, a resource for the casual Heroes gamer.
Your hosts, Chooch and Viv, are here to explain basic and advanced features of CoH,
as well as give tips and answer your questions about this great MMO. Unmute. Hey, that helps. Hello, welcome to episode 53 of the City of Heroes podcast.
Hey, everybody.
I am Chooch, and this is my lovely wife, Viv.
Hi.
Oh, hey, we already have a bunch of people in the stream chat. Wow. Timberwolf, Doll,
Yay.
Trauma Train
hey,
Rich.
Everybody. Hi.
Welcome. Hello.
Happy Saturday.
Yeah, happy Saturday. It's been it's been a long week, it feels like. And it feels like forever since we did this, since we're only doing it every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right?
It does, but yeah. We're still getting stuff figured out, y'all. You know, right. You get it. You know us.
So we are here to bring you the news, to bring you some information about what's been happening in the world of City of Heroes and specifically Homecoming, since that's where I play. And that's, sorry, I'm messing with audio things. And I already forgot what we said we were going to do. You were going to do news. I was going to do news. I'm going to do the main topic, which today is we're going to discuss exactly what is SCoRE. What are these different versions? What is I-24? What is I-25? What happened after sunset when these secret servers were running, for a long time? Basically, what were the real changes? And so a lot of us are kind of used to how things are now on Homecoming, but there was actually a significant amount of work over like 6 years. Well, why don't you go ahead and read the first thing, because this is something that you had found.
Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, it was announced sometime last week that there's an unannounced MMORPG based on a Marvel IP, intellectual property, is in the works at Dimensional Inc., the studio behind DCUO, and it's a subsidiary of Daybreak Game Studio. The game's development will be led by Jack Emmert, who designed City of Heroes and who currently leads development at DCUO. The project is a long-term one. Don't expect to hear more until 2023 at the soonest.
Oh, wow.
And this is an article from PC Gamer. It continues, the news that the game exists came via an investor presentation from Enad Global, the company that owns Daybreak. It's listed as an unannounced MMORPG, and it's Marvel IP, a Marvel IP-based, massively multiplayer online game. Dimensional Inc. is based in Austin. And again, they run DCUO. Daybreak had other successful publishing, such as there are a lot of success as a publisher of MMOs, especially the ones that have sustained an interested audience. Despite never rising to the top of the heap, they're the publisher for Lord of the Rings Online, which, Chooch, they're getting a revamp to go along with Amazon's TV series, by the way.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So Lotro's getting a revamp now that Amazon's got money in it. And DC Universe Online is scheduled to get an upgrade with a graphics upgrade and the largest expansion content to date, and that's scheduled for 2023. I go ahead and I share that because it's City of Heroes, it's that world. I mean, obviously Jack Emmert, but it's just good to know what's on the horizon. I've also seen a couple of articles asking if City of Heroes, I know I saw a forum post, but I've heard other people asking if there's if City of Heroes has caused a delay in some of the things that we've been waiting for, that we're going to have that same world feel and community feel of City of Heroes.
Oh, right. The spiritual successors.
Exactly. Yeah, those were the words that's what I couldn't think of exactly. But I mean, maybe all of this 2.5 years of us screaming and yelling for it, maybe Maybe it's just reminding people that, you know, we're here. We love a good superhero game. You're not going to make it. We already have it. But, you know, good. It's nice to know they're trying. They see us and they hear us, I guess. So that was that. And I did, I'm going to go ahead and read the next item too, baby. So like with all the talk of the Aeon Strike Force that was on the beta server, you know, that sent me down a little rabbit hole as far as, all right, so how do I get my stuff over there? And since I've gone on Brainstorm beta, I've been I'm trying to respec my Illusion Epic controller, and I can't quite get her tweaked to the numbers I want her at using mids, and because it's my first time really trying. But while I was doing that, I did find that one of our own streamer friends, the mighty Taxi, has a video on exactly how to test your mids build on HC's Brainstorm beta server. Now, again, this is for the Homecoming server, but Taxi's got a video up on YouTube, and let me drop that into the chat real quick. If assuming I have rights to drop into the chat. I never know how Chooch has stuff set up. Let's see. But here's the link to the video of Taxis. And it's really clear. It's really concise. It's like 3 minutes. You get in, you get what the info you need, you get out. Oh, Taxi's in the chat. Hi, Taxi. And she says, oh, God.
Put you on the spotlight.
Found ya. No, it's really useful though, because like I didn't understand like how the whole mids thing works, and she just walks you right through it. Super easy, not a lot of fuss, not a lot of fluff. Just you know how we love our Taxi. And I could try to explain it, but she does it way better. So I'll just leave you guys that link, and you can roll on out. And I guess since I'm already talking, I'll go ahead and do the patch note.
Yeah, I think so.
And then you can do all the rest of the
Nobody
talking.
Wants
I'm
to
sorry,
hear
you
me.
guys. Everybody wants to hear you, baby. Nah. You've got that voice. I'm not feeling the greatest. I'm getting over cooties still. So what do y'all think of my snap lens? Nice, right?
I like it.
I look human. All right. So these are patch notes from November 30th. There's not a lot of them, so we'll just get through them quickly. General topic, Atlas Park is ready for winter. If you were to travel into the city, if you haven't yet, into Paragon City, you would see snow and everything like that in Atlas Park. And then if you want to see it in other zones, you're basically looking at the presents, because the winter event is here. And the chalet is open for all that goodness, chasing the ugly baby and all of that. Sorry, releasing the ugly baby. They fixed a number of graphic issues with higher resolutions for wider screens, I believe. Fixed a number of issues with the AE Contact hologram. And then for costume fixes, the Tech Knight backpacks and possibly other costume pieces as well should now render effects properly. If that's been bugging you, it should be fixed. Badge fixes, Ripple Raider. I think that's in... We got a ding.
Look out, we got a raiding party incoming. Smoof.
Welcome, Smoof and Smoof Raiders. Holy cow, 19 Raiders. Thank you, Smoof. Talk about a real one right there. Okay, Chooch, I will let you watch for chat. And is there anything that you want to add from the chat from what I already mentioned, the costume bits?
No, nobody's talking costumes other than Rich released the ugly baby this morning. You know how he is.
Oh, well, as long as we have a bowel movement update on our little villain there, that's part of our life, you guys.
For everybody coming in from Smooth's Raid, this is the City of Heroes podcast. I'm Chooch. This is Viv, and we're reading up news about the patch notes. And main topic today is going to be talking about what happened between City of Heroes Sunset and the SCoRE server appearing. Thanks for joining. We return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
Well, I'm vibing on the fact that I can hear the music this week.
Yay.
Love it. So badges for the Aeon Strike Force Ripple Raider badge, it no longer requires no player deaths. All you have to do is defeat all the AVs in the Golden Roller mission of the Aeon Strike Force, and the badge should drop. Power overwhelming should now always detect when ripple surge is under the effect of a death puddle buff. Death puddle buff. Master of Dr. Aeon's Strike Force. Badge hint should no longer be randomly pulled from other badges. Because that would be not very helpful.
Yeah, a little confusing.
Yay, fix. For the cutoff badge, it properly awards again for completing a flashback arc with a max level between 40 and 49 with no epic powers used. For marginalized, it should properly award again for completing a flashback arc with a max level of 50 with no epic powers. So I guess it's time to get back to Ouroboros and get the rest of the badges. All flashback challenge badges are temporarily made the badges award on all arcs regardless of merit payout amount. This change is due to many arcs, including all incarnate arcs and SSAs not giving any merit rewards by default, instead putting them behind a reward choice, which doesn't trigger the badge. That would suck. Story arc merit reward payouts will be revised in January once we're back from the holiday break, and limitation will be put back in to exclude non-combat and personal story arcs. So it really seems like now's the time, you guys, to go get those Ouroboros badges that you've been putting off, because it's a little looser right now. For emotes, there are 9 different donut eating emotes added. I think Chooch notes it's a missed opportunity to make it a dozen.
Right? A baker's dozen.
Why not a
13.
Dozen? The original EM donut emote remains unchanged for posterity, and the drenched donuts emotes, including coffee, require an exploration badge to use. Can you guess which one? Are you asking us, Chooch?
That was literally in the patch notes.
Okay.
And my first thought was there's the big giant donut badge, but drenched donuts, so yeah, I'm not quite sure if there's something more appropriate to a dunking.
Right. If anyone knows, holler at y'all, because I don't know off the top of my head. I thought Chooch would know the answer.
Timberwolf can guess which one. Taxi, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to ask you to exit the donut.
All right.
Doll says that is the Drenched Donut Shop.
Ah. I never looked at the name of the shop. I just fly through the hole.
Samesies.
And then they also added some coffees, a hot dog emote. Sorry, Rich, no corn dog yet. Hamburger, and a Sando. Right on.
Game time with Kyle, 9 donut emotes. What a time to be alive. And we just got intertubes.
And inner tubes. Yes, inner tubes. For powers, for bugs fixes for powers. Doppelgangers should now properly use seismic blast powers. Doppelgangers should now properly use stone melee and stone armor when they play as a stalker. Removed repetitive combat spam that made references to granite when using geode. Fixed bugs where seismic shockwaves would not trigger while exemplared. Oh, that would be really disappointing. Significantly toned down the ongoing sound effects for seismic shockwaves.
Yay.
Fix the color palette for the seismic blast stalagmite lava theme. Sorry, you guys. Words are hard today. Amplifiers should now work on Chaldeans while they are shapeshifted. Oh, man. Yeah, that's important. Those are expensive. Experience boosters moved to temp powers buffs. Experience boosters in P2W. And what's T4V stand for? I forget. That's the villain side one.
Right. Transact for victory.
Transact for got it. Instead of pay to win. Sure. Those villains, they're so creative.
It's Praetorians.
Sorry, my bad. The Vanguard MDC can now be used while temporary powers are disabled, like all other accolades. The following day job powers were not disabling when disabled temp mode was active: Analyst's Teleporter, Frequent Clubber, and Invigorate. What?
A chat is basically continuing a discussion about Rich's digestive.
Well, that's what we're here for, to talk about Rich's poop.
And there's
the real
intertubes and entering and exiting and fiber train Rich. Thank you, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. Sorry, I don't know why I did that voice. Poop, Rich, Cartman, I don't know. It's there. It's just all flows. Rich, my work is done here. There it is. Now you guys know what Rich lives for.
I'm out.
When's the plumber day job, Timberwolf asks. Rich will be the first to get it. Okay, let's see. Back to the patch notes. Critters. The boss version of Minotaur Cyclops, regular and incarnate, no longer ignores rank reduction to lieutenant under the no bosses difficulty setting. The AU Rifter's dimensional distortion now has a minimum range of 5 to prevent dragging players already in melee past them. They fixed a spawn issue where certain high-level Cray spawns could spawn low-level lieutenants. And for tasks, let's see. The freakish lab of Dr. Vasilok should no longer get stuck after leading Pierce to the computer in the sewers in Mission 3. Yes, that was so frustrating. Do you guys remember when we did that? That was so frustrating. We walked that map like 4 times. I think we even logged out and logged back in, and that just would not progress. And then Taxi that reminded us, hey, we're on beta. We can just end complete mission. And it's like, oh yeah. That power is just not easy to remember that you have.
Yeah.
So that's fixed now, though. So Graveyard Shift, defeating Cortex should now grant defeat credit and count towards the Epidemiologist badge. For Cavern of Transcendence, the chance of an encounter to detach and chase players has been lowered to 0.25% times obelisks clicked times players on map. The 5th column task for that didn't fix, or did that cause the current bug where we get waves and waves and waves?
Right.
Do you remember, Chooch?
It fixes the current bug. Right. Exactly.
Well, this was from November 30th. Yeah, these are November 30th notes.
Gotcha.
So on November 30th, they did this patch test. And since then, I don't know if that's what broke the current Transcendence trial, where you get just like waves and waves and waves. Rich says that will be in that fix will be in the next patch.
So there's still...
Did this patch break this, though? Like, this wasn't a problem before because we've run Transcendence before.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I can't remember if it was this patch or the last patch that they made. I thought it was this patch that they made all the changes.
Well, no, but
currently the variable is 1.0, so they're going to reduce it by a quarter.
Because we ran it since we found out about that bug with all those crazy waves of ambushes. And it was nuts. It was really fun. But we got the Magma Lord badge, so I was all excited.
Yeah,
it's currently 1, and it'll change to 0.25
because
the volcanic badge.
These patch notes are saying they already changed it. So
right, I'm just they may think that they fixed on the 30th. I think they thought they fixed it, but it isn't, and so we can still play it now. So if you need the Magma Lord badge, the volcanic badge, go play it, you guys, because you'll get it in no time. But take some wakies too. For Dr. Aeon Strike Force, let's see. Malicious now properly notes that it disables super inspirations in the help text. Becky now does not become a follower until the final dialogue option is completed in Mission 1. Emperor Requiem is now much larger, making him easier to target in a crowd. They fixed errors preventing the Devouring Earth hordes from congregating on the locations of the giant monsters in Ripple 2 of Mission 5, where they hit 75% health. And let's see, Battle Becky now flies during the escort in Mission 7 to make that whole thing easier. They adjusted the room,
Battle Becky flying was awesome. I am all about Battle Becky.
Yeah, Battle Becky is awesome.
Oh my God, Becky.
She's got a neat little detail on her booty too, though, doesn't she? Isn't she got a little flare on her tiny parts?
I don't recall that. I'm gonna have to run it again.
I think she did. I'm pretty sure she did. Yeah, I'm 99.9% sure, but don't trust my memory ever. So, also adjusted the room that King Midas is fought in order to prevent some issues where his ripple singularity could hit players from unexpected locations. King Midas's ripple singularity damage increased by 50%. And that's it for the patch notes. I did want to also add that the December Developer's Choice arcs in Architect Entertainment have been announced. Game Master says, first of all, as always, we thoroughly enjoy all the content you guys are creating. We really enjoy playing through all of them and seeing all the creative stories you guys come up with. Having said that, we've selected some more story arcs that we really enjoyed. This month, a couple, not all, of our selections have less of an emphasis on combat and more on storytelling. We hope you enjoy these stories as much as we did. And the authors receive 1,000 reward merits and a golden title.
Nice.
Which, that's pretty nice, y'all. That's pretty nice. Let's see. The first one is called The Storyteller, Sabrina's Tale. It's ARC ID 14388, created by Redbone 1. It's got 4 missions. The description is, reading a story is one thing, watching is another, but to relive it, that is something else entirely. The storyteller invites you to live through one of his tales in which we see sometimes superpowers can't make the world right. Second one is Death Eternal, DETH Eternal, ARC ID 43772, created by Defeat All Snakes. I agree, defeat all the snakes. 4 missions. The description is, okay, moron, I made you a hollow video game thing. Are you bad enough, Death Slayer, to rip and... Sorry, I'm having trouble with this, tiny text. Let me enlarge it. Are you bad enough, Death Slayer, to rip and tear your way through an army of demons that literally came from hell? P.S. I'm totally going to laugh if you die in this. So that one's a not so serious kind of story. And then the Cassini Division is the third one, ARC ID 37104, created by Darmian, Darmian, 5 missions. The description, Praetor Sinclair has formed a dedicated unit, the Cassini Division, to track down Rogue Powers Division and Resistance members who cross to Primal Earth. Their treachery must be punished and their hidden benefactors found and dealt with. So yeah, that's the 3, and there is a thread on the forums if you want to give feedback to the devs on what you think about it, because they do ask. Awesome. So that's it for me. That's it, baby. It's tag.
Tag. I'm it. Woohoo.
Anything from the chat?
Thank you very much. That was very cool. No, not since Becca. Oh, Game Time with God about the Emperor getting bigger. He's been downing those new donuts.
By the 9, since they don't have a dozen.
Taxi Hot Mess Express is on her back and a heart. It's the best.
That's right.
So that's Becky's secrets. Nice. That will bring us to our main topic, which is Sunset to SCoRE. The servers went down, and 8 years later there was SCoRE, but what is it? What does it mean across the different servers, and who's developing Homecoming? SCoRE stands for Secret Cabal of Reverse Engineers, and was the code name for a private server that was stood up sometime after the official, I guess, within a couple of years after the official servers shut down. The server ran in secret for about 6 years before being exposed. And we covered a bit about how that had all gone down on the City of Heroes podcast, special episode 13 in 2019. We kind of went into the people involved and the how it was exposed and all that. It was a very exciting time. I think so.
It was hurry up and record. We got to get back to playing quick.
Yeah. Immediately downloaded the code, got it running so we could play again. Yeah. And then all the mad scramble for the public servers. Or we still call them private servers, but they're really open to the public. I guess you have to do I don't know. What makes them private? You have to create an account, but you have to do that for any game. I don't know. We still call them private servers because, they're not live, they're not official or, commercialized, I guess you should say.
Or run by corporations that have a data center and such. I think it kind of helps manage expectations of people. It's private. You guys, it might go down. We don't know.
Right.
We don't get paid for this.
Right. Here's the breakdown of what the current versions are. Different private servers run different code bases. So we've got I-24, issue 24 was the version NCSoft had on the test server, the beta server, before they shut down. At the time, issue 23 was the actual live version. So issue 23 was the official last live sunset. A lot of people call it sunset when they shut down. I-25 is the private server version known as SCoRE or known as Leandro's server. Leandro is who made all this happen. This is the code that was modified from I-24 and run by Leandro on his infamous private server. So they were running for about 6 years. It's more or less frozen now. There's not going to be any changes or updates from the Homecoming team because they've moved on. So that's I-25. I-25 Volume 2 is, people refer to it as the open source version. It's not true open source because, as we all know, it's the intellectual property of NCSoft. But it's also known as Project Ouroboros, and it's maintained by the OuroDev team. The team went through and sanitized a lot of the code, meaning they took out anything that would identify the developer who originally leaked it, basically. So they obfuscated that, and they did a whole bunch of cleanup and a huge modernization sweep to make it compatible with current compilers and software development stuff. So it would be easier to work on moving forward. And this is the version that most private servers are running. They're working on expanding it moving forward. Expected we'll see new power sets, we'll see new archetypes and missions. The kind of delay there is every server is developing their own new costume parts and missions and, and everything. So some of them do give back to OuroDev and share in that way. I totally got lost in my notes. Expanded. So yeah, it's the code that most servers are using, expanded with their own tweaks. The biggest exception, of course, is Homecoming. Homecoming took their I-25 and quickly evolved it to I-26. And that's what they called it going forward. And it has been expanded with pages. So you have an issue and then a page. Currently at issue 27, page 3, which we discussed. Page 3 was launched a couple weeks ago. So that's what we discussed in the last episode. It was I-26 was almost identical to I-25. It's really just them consolidating and, setting a place to move forward from. The Homecoming team, they have some really amazingly talented programmers and artists and writers. All of us have been blown away by what they did with Dr. Aeon, and they keep adding all these new costume things and all that. And they've maintained the biggest player base, but they have had a lot of conflicts with the other private server operators, which seems mostly to be around them not sharing with everybody else and keeping all the changes to themselves. I don't know anything about internals or, that's just the stuff that I hear and see. I don't have, any inside information about that. So those are the current versions out there. The two predominant being, like I said, issue 25, volume 2 from Orodev, and then I-27 on Homecoming.
So that covers everything from when the servers went down in 2012 to the changes that are made so far.
Right.
And of course, they're doing more development on pretty much all the servers, it looks like. They're all doing different things. They've all got different flavors and things like that. But the good news is that for whatever reason, Kyle says, I think the servers will be okay, not to be too mean to NCSoft, but they seem so disinterested in the franchise. But very thankful for the people who helped bring it back. True heroes. Amen. Right now, NCSoft is letting this happen, which is why, it's kind of strike while the iron's hot. We're playing while we can. And enjoying it as much as we can. And the people that have the servers up are seriously enjoying making new content. And that is just a delight for all of us that get to play it.
For real.
I don't know that they're disinterested, because I did read that like in 2019 or something that they re-upped on their IP. There was talk of a movie or another game or something like that. There's been different things talked about. But for right now, they seem to be fine with keeping the players hooked on the game. It really only pays off for them in the future if they can keep us hooked and wanting to play and experience the content that they come up with.
Yeah.
Hey, Grab. Welcome.
Gablaja, welcome.
So, did we have any other news?
Well, yeah, there was more. So that is going over what the versions are. I was going to discuss a bit of what actually changed between Sunset and
I-25. Yes, please do. Please do.
There are 80 pages of consolidated patch notes from Sunset to I-25, 80. So we're definitely not going to go into details or directly mention all of the changes. The SCoRE team had been modifying the game for about 6 years, so a lot changed. Most modifications are quality of life, meaning they reduce repetitive or tedious actions and modify things to accommodate much smaller player populations. Since you're not going to have leagues and big teams, the SCoRE server at the time it was made public had about 300 people playing on it. So, that's a pretty low population server. Accommodating smaller player populations. The biggest example is, removing the requirements for most task forces and strike forces, so you can have smaller teams than what was originally required. Making things like simultaneous glowy clicks, getting rid of that, so you can click them one at a time, so you can solo, that sort of thing. The other
really
major
crucial.
The other major theme is expanding character customization by unlocking items and powers and options that were restricted to certain factions or archetypes and making them available to everybody. So breaking open that customization, which is one of the things we all really love that drew so many people to the games. How expansive the customization is. So I-25, they had codenamed it Unbroken Spirit. The title references the community's strength to persevere beyond the official shutdown of the game. It was based on the I-24 code that was running on the beta server at the time of shutdown. They brought the new archetype, the Sentinels, were developed for I-25. The Sentinel archetype.
Yay, they're fun to play.
Yeah. A ranged combatant with moderate protective power and protection from control effects. The creation of this archetype began as a proof of concept for designing new powers and power set combinations. Warshade and Peacebringer powers, they made them customizable. For human forms, there is a no bubble theme that removes the big bubble from the toggles that have it. For new builds or characters that have not taken the shapeshifts in their builds yet, the shapeshift attacks are now part of the main power sets, not the inherent power sets. Energy Light, Combat Flight, Shadow Step, and Shadow Recall were all customizable now and part of the secondary aura sets. With Warshade powers, the power proliferation between the forms, so the tier 1 attack of offensive sets could be used while in dwarf form, at a reduced range. It should give dwarf form a new attack to fill the gaps in their chains. And the T2 attack of the offensive sets could be used while in Nova form at a higher recharge and for more damage. Slightly help with Nova form single target damage. The Shapeshift tray, an option to hide the extra power tray that opens up while in Nova form, has been added at Null the Gull and expanded for now that Flight has, Afterburner, all the different travels have that bar opens up. You can use that to get rid of that too. And I gotta say, when we jumped into Homecoming and when I started leveling up my Keldian Dies Nictus, I really like the changes. It made it really a blast to play. Keldians and Soldiers of Arachnos could now be created with any origin. And they created the power sets: Atomic Manipulation, Ninja Training, Radiation Armor, Radiation Melee, Radioactive Assault, Tactical Arrow, and Temporal Manipulation. Some of these, we got hits and misses, of course. I've tried out a bunch of these. I really like Temporal Manipulation. I love the Radiation Melee and Armor. Those are fun. I don't know that I've never done Ninja. Something I'll have to try. They did extensive power set proliferation, meaning they started expanding power sets from their core archetypes to other archetypes for the ultimate character customization. They created new IO sets. I'm not going to list them because there's a lot. Numerous fixes of quality of life changes to maps and zones. They added the new zone Callisti Wharf, which nobody ever goes to. I'm sure there's going to be, that's going to be the place where we get a lot of new content. And, they had designed it as a meeting zone.
Yeah, both heroes and villains can go there, and Praetorians. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody can gather there.
There's the one trial there. That's the only time I ever see folks there for it. Is it? Is that the Market Crash one that's in Callisti Wharf?
I think so.
I can't remember, but yeah, that's literally the only time I see folks there, unless they're getting exploration badges, plaques.
Yeah, Market Crash. Rich says. Cool. New costume options. Costume pieces from some enemy groups were unlocked for players. New costume pieces have been added. Things like two-tone hair variations. And what they've been expanding more now is some gender-locked items being unlocked for other genders. Which we know the game has 3 genders, male, female, and huge. They'd have done extensive changes to supergroup bases, obviously making everything free. They got rid of having to go into supergroup mode and have the prestige and all that.
Or unlock the exploration badges like you used to have to do.
Yeah, for the beacons,
get the teleporters. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or beacons, sorry.
Yeah, everything's totally unlocked. New supergroups have bases by default. There's no need to get a base permit. Praetorians can be invited to supergroups even before they leave Pretoria. All items in a base except storage can be used by visitors who do not belong to the supergroup. Numerous items were added to the base editor, many adapted from various map instances, but also custom-made items have been created by members of the community. There's thousands of items. And as we know now, the last patch, they released, another 400 and something. Basic telepad can now attach to 10 teleport beacons. They added the Teleport Points tab. It contains 10 invisible objects that can be spread around the base to act as teleporter destinations, which Daisy uses to amazing effect with her bases in her haunted house and behind the scenes. There's new badges. They added a lot of new badges. Modified the requirements for several badges that were only available for Praetorian-born or Primal-born heroes, so they can be earned by the other sides. Veteran levels. This is the new name for leveling up after 50. You can check your current vet level in your info window. Previously, it used to be at the city info terminal kiosks only under character. And they grant the veteran badges. Also a second set of hidden badges with Empyrean rewards, front-loaded to allow characters to get all their T3s with 9 veteran levels, which was down from 12. All their T4s with 48 veteran levels, which was down from 57. The Empyreans are tied to badges and no longer drop on every single level. So 48 vet levels. And I've heard now a lot of people can do all their tier 4s by about, I think it's the 30-something, 33rd vet level or something like that. So it's clearly been reduced even further. It's been some minor quality of life for the multiple builds feature. You can now rename your active build while on the cooldown timer that used to prevent build switching, or still does prevent build switching. The active build name will be displayed on the countdown page. The cooldown timer for switching between builds was reduced to 60 seconds. You will need to recharge all your powers after switching a build, which is a bummer, but understandable. You can switch your build anywhere by using the command line /select_build and give it a number, 1, 2, or 3. And they added another kind of controversial, the cell shader. Some people love it, some people hate it. A comic book look has been added that can be toggled on and off with the command /cell shader 0 or 1. The cell shader now has customizable options to tweak its look. It can be found under graphic settings /experimental options. So it's the one that makes it look like, Champions Online. I personally don't really care for it. Mostly because it takes different things where there's like gradations and blends, and it posturizes them, giving them hard edges. And some people absolutely love it because it, looks more like a comic book.
Yeah, I really like it. I really, really do. I don't play with it on, but I really, really love it. I think Greb Blaja is the only person I've seen that streams with that on. I really love watching his stream for that. But, you weren't into comic books and I was, so that makes sense,
Yeah. Yeah.
Different strokes, man.
Right. There's actually just a couple more here. The P2W vendor sells VIP rewards and microtransaction stuff for free or for influence. So that's the things like Double XP, Ninja Run, Mystic Fortune, Jetpacks, Vanity Pets, and all that stuff. It's just a way of life now. It's like for me, first stop every time I create a new character is P2W.
Yeah.
Mission difficulty settings are accessible from anywhere via the menu. You used to have to go to a field analyst to change that. That's so much easier to just be able to click down by your little chat bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Some power sets that were in beta or only speculated, such as Radiation Melee and Radiation Armor, were finished and added to the game. And later on, we got some others like Savage Melee. And that's it. That is 6 years of patch notes condensed into 15 minutes. We've covered the current version of Homecoming, and the future episodes, we will fill in the gaps with what the major changes were from issue 18 to 23, which is when we stopped broadcasting, and then when it went sunset, as well as the I-26 through I-27 page 2 on Homecoming. There's been so many changes since they released that I-26. And next episode, we're going to discuss the essentials, travel power changes, and tools like video maps. I'm pretty excited
Those
about.
are essential.
But quick travel has changed so much in the game. So we want to kind of go over that.
Improved. I would say improved.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Were you watching on the chats? I just blew through stuff. I didn't hardly stop.
Mainly folks were just listening. Dahl did point out that as far as Callisti Wharf, the role players occasionally make use of some of the fancier buildings. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that the huge scale size appears to be locked to males still.
Ah. Bummer.
Yeah. Woohoo.
That's true, yeah.
It
would be great if they would release more faces and model parts.
Yeah, Dahl says, made it far less grindy for those who don't have a lot of time to play. And Game Time with Kyle says, it's nice to zip around these places much quicker. I totally agree. Yeah, the traditional thing where they make people invest a certain amount of time in just getting from place to place, I understand why they do it, but I'm glad that we don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Dahl says, at least the last huge I made, the choices seem to be male. They did add more faces. According to Taxi. Interesting. I'm going to see if I can do that right now. I'm really curious to see if I can just create a huge female body type, because that's something that we've been asking for a while. Why do all the chicks have to be skinny and hot? Why can't we have a fatty? Why can't we have a big girl? Let's see. I'm sorry if the word fatty offends anybody. That's what I call myself. It's nothing personal. It's my shorthand. I did also, let's see, female heavy. Wait, no. Yep. Huge is just male.
Yeah.
It's, male, female, or huge, which definitely is male.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get some body positivity going in here, because I've done the larger, you can scale the body size up bigger. It's such a customizable thing. The way you can make your nose this big or your boobs this big or this small, and that kind of thing. And I think it's interesting that the boobs you can't have like a young, they all have boobs. You can't get it. Like I tried to make a young, like a middle school aged character, and I couldn't because she already had boobs, and it's like, meh. And so you can't have not non-boobs or small boobs, and you can't have a full-size, huge female body type. And I totally get it, but like if they aren't going to offer those, then they need to fix the costume items, because when you do the bigger slider, when you slide it all over to the side to get the largest size that you can get on a female, nothing fits correctly. The clothing doesn't sit in any kind of a proper way. And that's not all items, but the ones that I like, the costumes don't fit right on it. So it's like, whatever, fine. I'll be the cookie cutter that y'all need. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I think, let's see. I did want to make an announcement, though, because I have been working behind the scenes ever since we did that team up with Dythok and Doll and folks from the Dollhouse Discord, which, Chooch, could you put that, or maybe Doll, if you can put a link. I grant thee permission to post a link in the chat to the Dollhouse Discord. She's created they have created a really cool community over there. But we did the Aeon Strike Force with some of their folks and with Dythok as well. Dythok is a fellow streamer of ours. And so there's been a need, I think, for myself and I think for others that I've heard voice that, you want to do the incarnate trials. There's 8 incarnate trials. They are very intimidating. Chooch, she got deleted. Can you permit that?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
Thanks. But so what Dythok and I are going to do, we've kind of teamed up. He knows the strategy and he knows how to do it successfully. So we're going to do it together. I'm going to read all of the text so that people that have never read it or paid attention to why they're doing what they're doing, they can learn the story, the lore of it. And because that's been a real problem for me as I've joined pickup groups and they all want to do it as quick as possible. I have no idea what's going on, you guys. I stand where they tell me to stand. I click on the things they tell me to click. And to be honest, I don't even remember that I've done them before. I literally joined a group to get some badges on an incarnate trial that I hadn't done before. And I get in there and I didn't get any badges because guess what? I had done it before. I just didn't know it because it was just like, just so fast, no explanation, no knowledge. So we're going to team up together and we're going to do that. And that is going to be December 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And that will be, it'll be at my Twitch channel, which hopefully Chooch can drop that in the chat for me. And so we are going to be recruiting for that. Let me see if I have any other notes for that I just kind of ran through. Yes, December 18th. And this is going to be part 1 because there are 8 trials. We're going to do the first 3. The first 3 are the Behavioral Adjustment Facility and Lambda Sector and the Keys Island Reactor trial. Of the probably 6 or so of those trials that I've run, the only one I remember is the BAF trial, the Behavior Adjustment Facility. It's probably the easiest, the quickest, the least traumatizing if you don't know what's going on, and we'll explain it. Dythok is working on pop menus and all kinds of things that I don't know anything about so that we can give you guys a good education on what you want to do, what you want to look for as far as how stuff is slotted. Let's see. And let me be clear, I'm not knocking folks that do the speed trials to get those badges. The community relies on you. It's necessary. We need you. But there are a lot of people that are hesitant to join those because they don't want to look like an idiot.
Yeah.
They don't want to be standing in the wrong place and fail it for a whole league of players.
It's so confusing. You got people barking out orders and you don't really know why you're doing anything. And
Yeah. I just remember always being like, yay, badges, but not like having any sense of accomplishment for it. And so again, that'll be on my Twitch stream next Saturday, December 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you're interested in joining along, we do need some folks. You will need to bring for this first part 1, you need a level 50, and that's it. You need to be on Excelsior, and you need to have a level 50. You don't have to have any of your incarnate stuff slotted. We can talk about that later, but it's not necessary for this, Dythok says, and I believe him.
For transferring, a lot of people are scared of transferring characters. You get 5 transfers a week. So you can transfer them and transfer them back. And the only real danger, if you have if you're doing the alignment missions, you'll lose progress if you've done your 4 or 5 alignment missions. And the name could be taken on the destination server. So if you go over to the destination first and type in to check if the name's taken, and then make up and it holds that for a period of time. So if it's available, you have to type in some gibberish or something and check again, so it'll unhold it, and then go do your transfer, and you'll be safe and good to go. And we've got an SG we'll invite you to on the other end, so you can teleport around and stuff.
I'm going to turn my camera off so I can get the other stream going because we've got our game time starting up shortly.
That's right.
So let me see, how do I do this, you guys? My voice is still here. You don't have to look at my snap lens anymore, though. Browser I have this left on. So again, we're going to be starting up our game time very shortly, and we will be playing tonight for a couple of hours with Rich and our good friend Trauma Train Rich. And then we will be back on Wednesday night with our Wednesday night game stream on the Vivid Muse channel, and that is at 5:30 Eastern.
Wicked Wednesdays, where we play villains.
And that's Wicked Wednesday. Yeah, we play villain side, all red side content. And then, of course, December 18th is what we're talking about now, where we'll be running part 1 of the Incarnate Trial Instructional with Dythok. Really hope you can make it, everybody. I know Dahl will be there. Dahl and I think Rich have already agreed to both participate, so that should be lots of fun.
Both did shout-outs in the chat. Looking forward to it for sure. Dahl. Viv went into superior invisibility.
I am an illusion controller.
Timberwolf, I remember Vico Viv. Pepperidge Farms remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. Yeah, I just re-listened to that episode. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. And a doll reminds me, for transferring characters, supergroup bases, make sure you are not the only character in the SG base when you transfer servers, because you leave a supergroup base since they are specific shard to shard. So make sure there's
next
another
on the
character.
list gets made leader. Yeah.
Whoever's next highest rank on the list gets made leader. So make sure you've got an alt in there to invite yourself back. Or friendly friends.
Rich says he will participate in the Incarnate Trials instructional next weekend. Yay!
I had no doubt.
Should be a lot of fun, though, you guys, with Dythawk and Doll and Rich and us as a start. It'll be giggles aplenty. I think Taxi said that she won't be able to make up. We will miss her. I was going to try to recruit her next. We'll get her next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Christmas dinners are important. I definitely agree. So I think that's probably it for tonight, right? Chooch?
Yeah, I think that's it for tonight. I'm going to roll those wonderful end credits, and then we're going to raid Viv's channel for some hero-y teaming goodness. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, everybody in the chat. It's so... I said it last time, I'll probably say it every time. It's just so much more fun to have people feeding back on, what we're talking about. Roll that beautiful bean footage, says Doll. Let me make sure I have all of my clicky-clacky things here in order. So thank you, and we will catch you next time. This podcast, its hosts, and websites are not in any way affiliated with NCSoft, Cryptic Studios, or Homecoming servers.
All views expressed are solely of the hosts and their guests.
This podcast is released under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, Share-alike license, which is explained in detail at CoHPodcast.com.
Good hunting, heroes.